The first thing is when Boris Johnson says we did everything we could. When he said that yesterday, I think the whole nation thought, did you? You didn't, did you? You didn't do everything that you could to prevent this terrible death toll. We didn't do everything that we could on PPE. We didn't do everything we could on care homes. We didn't do everything we could on testing. We didn't do everything we could on borders. We didn't do everything we could on locking down early. We didn't do everything we could on contact tracing. We didn't do everything we could when we told people to eat out to help out. We didn't do everything we could when it came to schools. We didn't do everything we could when it came to doing a circuit breaker. We didn't do everything we could when it came to mixing at Christmas. What did we do to prevent this grim milestone?
Well, I think the point the Prime Minister was making, and I would attest to this because I was in many of those meetings with him, that he and the government did everything that we could on the basis of the information that we had available to us. We marshalled all the resources that we had, whether that's the brilliant staff of the NHS and social care, local councils, the armed forces, British medical and scientific ingenuity with the vaccine rollout. Have we made the right decisions in every respect? Well, I suspect, with the benefit of hindsight, the answer in some cases will be no.
Okay, which cases?
Which cases? Be very proud
let's
of,
get it. Okay, that's an important.
Which no doubt people will say we could have done differently.
Okay, that's an important admission. So let's get into what you got wrong. Tell us what you got wrong as a government in the last 11 months.
Well, I think it's not easy to make those assessments with confidence today. I don't say that to pass the buck. I think it's just that it will be with greater distance that we'll be able to say the things that we've done well and the things that we could have done better.
You're not prepared to cite any mistakes you've made as a government.
The words of the Prime Minister on a day when 100,000 people have died with COVID-19 cumulatively, his words are important. He will have thought long and hard about those words. He came in front of the cameras and he said, we have done everything that we possibly could. He talked about exhausting the thesaurus of misery, another total dictionary move from the Prime Minister at a point when what we want is someone to say, look, we are trying our hardest, mistakes have been made, and some of those mistakes will have led to some of the numbers in that 100,000 total. Instead, it feels like the Prime Minister is gaslighting the entire nation at the moment.
No, I think that's extremely unfair, what you've just said there. The Prime Minister said that he takes personal responsibility for the steps that have been taken. Nobody has worked harder than the Prime Minister. I mean, the Prime Minister himself was particularly ill as a result of COVID. He's worked extremely hard to guide the country through this period, but there were no easy answers. There was no textbook as how to respond to this. But on each occasion, we followed the best available advice and taken the decisions that were right.
If you followed the advice, on many occasions, you followed it late. Let's just go through the list. Guidance on masks, PPE shortages, ventilator shortages, COVID going into care homes resulting in 30,000 excess deaths, Eat Out to Help Out, students travelling all around the country being confined to barracks. We were late to the circuit breaker, late to the lockdown, the Christmas window, schools going back for one day, borders with no COVID checks. And the position of this government is that at every possible opportunity, truly, you have done everything you can to minimise suffering and loss of life.